Okie dokie. Today we're focusing on Nebruel. He's an Archon in Gnostic Cosmology whose influence extends across the celestial and material realms. Gnostic teachings provide a complex view of the universe structured into multiple heavens, each governed by different spiritual entities. Nebruel's domain is the third heaven, and his influence is particularly significant on Wednesday and over the zodiac sign Virgo. In Gnostic cosmology, the universe is divided into multiple layers or heavens, often numbering 7. Though some systems do suggest more, each heaven is a realm that separates the material world from the divine pleroma. These heavens are not merely spatial. They represent different states of existence, each more removed from the divine light. The Archons, including Nebruel, govern these heavens, maintaining a boundary between the material and spiritual worlds. The third heaven, where Nebruel is believed to rule, occupies a crucial position in this hierarchy. It is neither the most corrupt, like the lower heavens, closer to the material world, nor is it among the higher, purer realms nearer to the divine. The middle ground gives the third heaven a unique role. It acts as a kind of buffer zone where the spiritual and material worlds intersect more closely. Souls passing through this realm are still heavily influenced by the material concerns of life, and it is Nebruel's responsibility to maintain this influence. The significance of the third heaven lies in its connection to the astrological order. In Gnostic thought, the cosmos was deeply intertwined with astrology. Each heaven was associated with certain celestial bodies and astrological signs, which were believed to influence human destiny. Nebruel's rule over the third heaven places him in charge of the influences that govern this realm, particularly those related to the zodiac and the days of the week. In ancient belief systems, days of the week were often linked to planets and corresponding deities or spiritual beings. Wednesday is associated with the planet Mercury, known for its connections to communications, intellect, and commerce. This association is not just astrological, it's also spiritual, as Gnostic traditions attributed each day to different archons and spiritual rulers who could influence the events and energies of that day. Nebruel's dominion over Wednesday suggests a specific and powerful influence. Wednesday, being Mercury's day, is traditionally a time for intellectual pursuits, communication, and the exchange of ideas. Nebruel's rule in this context might involve shaping how these activities unfold, especially in ways that keep souls engaged with the material world. To give you an example, Nebruel might influence how ideas are communicated, ensuring that they reinforce worldly concerns rather than spiritual enlightenment. This influence extends beyond simple daily activities. In Gnostic belief, the Archons were seen as malevolent beings who kept souls trapped in the material world through various means. Nebruel's control over Wednesday could mean that this day is particularly fraught with challenges for those seeking spiritual insight. Intellectual pursuits might be directed towards material gain rather than spiritual growth, and communication could be clouded with misunderstandings or distractions that pull individuals away from the pursuit of Gnosis. Those born under Virgo, Nebruel's associated zodiac sign, might feel this influence more strongly on Wednesdays. They could find that their natural inclinations towards order, analysis, and detail are amplified, leading them to focus more on the practical and material aspects of life. And this focus, while not inherently negative, could serve Nebruel's purpose by keeping them anchored in the concerns of the physical world rather than seeking the spiritual liberations that Gnosticism advocates. Which is weird because I was born on a Saturday and I feel more closely associated with Saturday than any other day of the week. Just saying. The zodiac plays a significant role in many ancient belief systems. Each sign of the zodiac was believed to be governed by a different spiritual entity, with specific traits and characteristics influenced by this rulership. Virgo, the sixth sign of the zodiac, is traditionally associated with purity, order, and meticulous attention to detail. These traits are not just personality markers. In Gnostic thought, they represent deeper spiritual conditions. Nebruel's association with Virgo ties his influence to these qualities. Virgos are often described as analytical, practical, and detail-oriented. Traits that, while valuable in the material world, can also be a distraction from spiritual matters. In Gnosticism, the pursuit of spiritual knowledge often requires transcending the concerns of the material world, which is seen as an illusion created by the demiurge and maintained by the Archons. Nebruel's influence over Virgo could be understood as a means of keeping those born under this sign focused on the material aspects of existence. The meticulousness and desire for order that characterize Virgo can be seen as tools in Nebruel's hands, used to bind souls more tightly to the physical world. By encouraging a focus on perfection and control in the material realms, Nebruel ensures that the soul's attention is diverted away from the spiritual truths that lie beyond the material illusion. Historically, this view of Virgo's traits would have resonated with the Gnostic understandings of the cosmos. The Gnostics believed that the Archons, including Nebruel, were deeply involved in the governance of human lives, not just in a broad sense, but in very personal and specific ways. So by influencing the traits associated with Virgo, Nebruel could guide those individuals towards a life that, while orderly and controlled, remains deeply entrenched in the material world. This influence is particularly significant when we consider the historical context in which these beliefs were developed. During the early centuries of the Common Era, astrology was a central part of many spiritual and religious systems. The idea that the celestial bodies and their associated spiritual rulers could influence human destiny was widely accepted. In this context, Nebruel's role as the ruler of Virgo would have been seen as a direct and powerful influence on the lives of those born under this sign. Understanding Nebruel's specific roles helps to illuminate the broader Gnostic cosmology. In this system, the material world is a flawed creation, governed by the demiurge and his archons. These beings are responsible for the various aspects of the material realm, from the movements of the planets to the traits of zodiac signs and the flow of time itself. Nebruel's governance over the third heaven, Wednesday in Virgo, places him in a critical position within this cosmology. He's not just a passive ruler, he's an active participant in the control and manipulation of the material world. His influence on Virgo and Wednesday highlights the Gnostic belief that the Archons work tirelessly to keep souls trapped in ignorance, focused on the physical world and its concerns rather than on the spiritual truths that lead to liberation. The decline of Gnosticism as a major religious movement in the late Roman Empire did not erase these ideas. While Gnosticism itself became less prominent, many of its concepts, including the roles of the Archons, continued to influence later mystical and esoteric traditions. The idea that spiritual beings govern the zodiac and the days of the week persisted, particularly in medieval astrology and alchemy. In these later traditions, figures like Nebruel might not be explicitly mentioned, but their influence can still be traced in the continued belief in the spiritual significance of time and the zodiac. Today, the figure of Nebruel might not be widely recognized outside of specialized studies of Gnosticism. However, the themes he represents, control over time, influence, and personality traits, and the manipulation of material concerns remains relevant in many spiritual and esoteric traditions. Modern astrology, for example, still assigns certain traits to the sign of the Virgo that resonate with the qualities Nebruel was believed to influence. The idea that different days have different energies also persists, though often in a more symbolic and psychological sense than in the overtly spiritual framework of Gnosticism. In contemporary spiritual practices, Nebruel's influence might be interpreted as a reminder of the need to balance material concerns with spiritual growth. The traits associated with the Virgo, order, detail, analysis, are all valuable, but they can also become traps if they are not balanced with a broader perspective that includes spiritual awareness. Understanding Nebruel's role in Gnostic cosmology can offer insights into the challenges of navigating a world where material and spiritual concerns are often at odds. Nebruel stands as a significant figure within the complex structure of Gnostic cosmology. His rule over the third heaven places him at a crucial intersection between the material and spiritual worlds, while his influence over Wednesday in Virgo highlights his role in shaping the intellectual and practical aspects of human life. By controlling these areas, Nebruel helps to maintain the illusion of the material world, keeping souls focused on earthly concerns and away from the spiritual truths that could set them free. This understanding of Nebruel's rule offers a deeper appreciation of Gnostic thought and its view of the cosmos as a battleground between light and darkness, knowledge and ignorance. The figure of Nebruel, with his specific associations and influences, serves as a reminder of the intricate and often adversarial relationship between the material and spiritual realms in Gnostic belief. Hey, we have a Patreon. If you want extra shows like the intermezzo or the artwork from all of our videos, check it out. Patreon.com/microphone therapy. All right, that's all I've got for today. If you like it, give us a like and subscribe. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.